Hey everyone, welcome back to Sham's Makeup Artistry, and if this is the very first time you're tuning into my channel, my name is Shamala. Today I'm here to share with you guys my top 5 pick of foundation, and also I do have a tinted moisturizer, especially for spring and summer. Of course, now that we are already almost into summer, I wanted to share with you guys my top 5 picks of foundations and a tinted moisturizer yet again. So let's just get started. So my skin type is more of like a combination skin. I do have a little bit dryness over my eye area and also sometimes over my nose area, and I do have like an oiliness over my forehead and also my mouth area, and then my cheek is more of like a normal kind of skin. It doesn't really get dry, or neither does it get really oily. So I do have like a mostly like a combo skin, sometimes really oily, sometimes really dry, sometimes it's just like a normal skin. So that can be a little bit confusing when you want to pick out your foundations. So with me, I do have my 5 picks. The very first one that I like to share with you is something that if you do have like acne marks, or you need a better coverage, and then you do have long hours to spend outside, especially if you're working, you do want your foundation to last on you a little bit longer. So this one will be a pick for me when I am wearing a foundation on a longer hour, and something that I want it to look matte and stay put on my skin as well as I have first applied it. So with that being said, the foundation that I'm going to share with you is from Estee Lauder, and this is their Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup Foundation. So I am in the shade 4W2 Toasty Toffee. I'll list them down on the description bar below. With this foundation, it does give a full coverage. At the same time, it does leave your skin looking matte. If you tend to have like really dry skin, you probably need to moisturize your skin additionally so that it doesn't show up any of your dryness over the skin while applying this foundation. Otherwise, this foundation does wear very beautifully. For me, I kind of feel like this was the only foundation that was lasting on me in a humid weather when I was back home in Malaysia when it was really hot. This foundation did help me so well, and I did not need to apply tons of it like over my face area just to give me the coverage that I needed, because I personally felt that this foundation does wear very well as a medium to full coverage foundation. So if you're looking out for a foundation to last on you for a longer hour, at the same time keep your skin matte and just intact, definitely check out the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. The next foundation that I'd like to share with you is a drugstore foundation. Again, this is another foundation that I found myself in the drugstore being very comparable to my Estee Lauder foundation. And it's none other than my Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. So when it says that it's foundation and concealer, you typically need not apply any other concealers over your face area. For the under eye area, I'm not sure, because I personally do not use foundation on my under eye area. Like I mentioned earlier, I do have like a dry under eye area. So if I tend to put additional concealers over my under eye area, it makes it even more dry. So I try to skip on that. But I can definitely vouch on using this all over your face area. It does cover all my marks. I do have like a couple of acne marks still on my cheek area. So this definitely helps to cover it perfectly. With this foundation, you have to go very light-handed, just like the Estee Lauder foundation. Slowly build it up to the coverage that you need, or else it will look very cakey on the skin. This foundation does stay put on me like for a good 12 over hours that I've tried on my skin when I was back in Malaysia. Likewise, the Milani foundation works the best for long hours. So I personally felt that the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation is very equal to an high-end foundation. So if you're looking out for the more affordable version of the Estee Lauder foundation, definitely check out the Milani Conceal and Perfect. In this particular foundation, I'm in the shade 0910. The next one that I'd like to share with you is actually a tinted moisturizer. I think my second video here on the YouTube was about this tinted moisturizer, and it's none other than the Mercier tinted moisturizer. This is an oil-free moisturizer, and I'm again in the shade 10 in this particular moisturizer. It does come with an SPF of 20. This is definitely a long time favorite. Each time when it comes to spring or summer, I tend to pick this particular tinted moisturizer because I personally feel that this tinted moisturizer definitely works out the best for me when I need like very medium kind of coverage on an everyday kind of basis and I'm running errands. I want something very quick. This is what I go for. I sometimes like using my beauty blender to apply this foundation. At the same time, sometimes when I want like a little bit coverage going on my face, I use a brush to apply this. I use a translucent powder to set it in, and I really like the coverage that it gives me. It does give your skin a little bit like a luminosity to it. If you have and really oily skin, I may not recommend this, but if you tend to have more like a combination skin or a dry skin, definitely check this out. Though it does say it's an oil-free tinted moisturizer, it can end up making you look very oily if you do have like a really major oily skin kind of skin, if that does make sense. So definitely check out the Mercier tinted moisturizers if you're on a hunt for something that gives you a very nice glowy kind of look during spring or summer. The next one is hands down the best foundation that I've found myself. Has to be from the Makeup Forever Ultra HD line, and this is their stick version. The fluid version doesn't suit my skin type. It kind of breaks me out horribly, but the stick type, it kind of like works with my skin, so I'm really happy with this one. And especially being a combo kind of skin person, I really like this. I totally like this on a day that I kind of feel like my skin is a little bit dull, because it does bring out the glowiness to the face and it makes myself feel very refreshed. And in this foundation, I'm in the shade 173, which is equivalent to Y445. So if you guys are on a hunt for a foundation that makes you glowy and very perfection kind of thing, like flawless skin, definitely check out the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. So this one is like a stick version foundation, so it does give you a pretty full coverage. It's very buildable from medium to full coverage. I personally feel that this is full coverage, but it doesn't look cakey when even if you apply additional, you can just blend it out very easily and it doesn't end up looking cakey, and I really like. With most of my foundations, I tend to set it with a translucent powder. I try to skip as much as I can when it comes to color powders because they tend to look very different. The foundation tone might change if you use a colored powder, but with some of the color powders you can definitely tone the foundation beautifully, like the MAC mineralized version powders or even their next to nothing powders. They kind of look very skin-like, so it doesn't really make the tone of the foundation change, but some powders can really make the tone of your foundation change, so you may want to stay away from those kind of setting powders. And the last foundation that I got to share with you guys, which I'm actually wearing over my face area today, and this is actually a new found favorite of mine. Like, I'm so thankful that influencer actually sent me this for review purposes, and I've been really liking this foundation, and I kind of vouch this for summer, especially if you do have oily to combo skin. Even if you have dry skin, it doesn't really emphasize on your dryness, so that's really amazing too. So it kind of works for every skin type, depends on how you use it against your skin. For me, I personally felt this foundation is a full coverage foundation, but you need to slowly build it up. Unlike the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, this particular foundation that I'm going to mention can be looking very cakey on you if you have over applied it on your face area. And the foundation that I'm bragging about today has to be from Lancome, however you pronounce it, Lancome. And this is their Teint Idole Ultra Wear Makeup Stick Foundation, and I'm in the shade 450 Suede Neutral, and this is a sunscreen broad spectrum SPF 21 foundation. This foundation is a great status of holy grail foundation for me, and I really like how this foundation works out for my skin. And again, this is another stick version kind of foundation which works very similar to my Makeup Forever Ultra HD, but this one kind of leaves me looking a little bit more glowier. Comparing it to the Lancome one, this one does give me a little bit more coverage, and then it doesn't feel tacky or sticky over the skin. Though I have applied this foundation, like for now, it's been more than 6 to 7 hours of applying the foundation. It still feels very nice on the skin. Though my oil starts to show through, I do feel that I don't need to keep blotting my face area with this foundation. Yet again, you have to be very careful when you're applying this foundation, because you can end up looking overly cakey if you have applied it too much over your face area. So you have to build it up accordingly. Slowly and steady, build it up upon to the coverage that you need on your face area. So this has to be, again, checked out by each one of you. I would recommend it to the most oiliest combination to dry skin girls. So I hope that you guys enjoyed my top 5 favorites of foundation for spring and summer. Definitely share with me what has been your favorites for the spring and summer, and if you have tried out any other new foundations, also share them with me in the comment box below. To my very next one, stay beautiful both inside and out. Give me a thumbs up, share all your love and support, and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.